The good thing about running is that it's so accessible, like it's low barrier to entry.
I thought to myself, I'm like, if I don't get out of my comfort zone with this, then nothing good's going to happen.
You're constantly thinking about, what people are going to think of you and putting yourself down. But in reality, it's so refreshing to see someone do that and to often feel like, oh, she's thinking exactly what I'm thinking, or she's putting herself out there.
I felt like I could break through barriers more so, because you do need a lot of mental strength to break through that marathon barrier, especially when it gets really tough.
So knowing what you know now and what you have experienced, what would you go back and tell 16-year-old Eliza?
Start running earlier.
Welcome to 40G. Run club memberships in Australia increased by 59% in 2024. And when researchers asked why women keep showing up week after week, it wasn't about pace or race times, and it wasn't about fitness goals. It was more about motivation, community, and a boost in mood in that order. Running is having its moment, and it's being driven by women. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. Most of us didn't start as runners. We started as people who wanted to feel better in our bodies, better in our heads, and less alone when doing it. And somewhere on the pavement, that happened. Today's guest, Eliza Boyd, is the founder of the Chill Girls Run Club in Geelong. And the name says it all. A slower pace, inclusive run club for women and the LGBTQI community, which has gone viral on TikTok and become a strong community that turns up every Saturday morning for more than running, for more confidence, and for more connection and camaraderie. All the things that sport gives girls and women, and is exactly why we need to keep more of them in sport. Eliza Boyd, welcome to the 4TG podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, and we've been chatting about this for a while, but you've had a pretty big commitment recently.
Yes.
Which is why it's taken a bit to come on board. So do you want to tell us all about your wedding?
Yeah, sure. So I recently got married.
Congratulations.
I was in Barwon Heads. It was a really beautiful day. And it was just, probably the best day of our lives.
Oh, well, we'd love to hear it. And we're just joking offline about your last name. So I'm just going to call you Eliza Boyd because the real name is?
Eliza Tumoe.
Tumoe. And you said that you actually got that wrong during the ceremony too.
Yeah,
so
still learning.
Yeah, I'll feel better if I get it wrong.
Yeah.
So today we're chatting about the insurgence of run clubs in Australia and why they have such a profound impact on not only your physical nature, but also the mental, the community aspect that you get from run clubs. And also, I guess, just the confidence that you get from being part of a club, and arguably the coffee afterwards is more important. So that ties really nicely into 4TG about trying to keep more girls and women in sport because of all of the benefit it gives you other than just the physical benefits. So before we start, we're going to do the 4TG Snap Fitness Rapid Fire, which are 3 questions, and I will ask them and you just, whatever first comes to mind, you shoot.
Sure. Is it one-word answers or are we doing?
Look, I'll allow a couple of word answers.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be pretty lenient. So what is your go-to run song?
Run song. I got really into Gracie Abrams recently. I don't know why.
Nice. Yeah.
But it was just really nice to run to. I think it's quite emotional. Maybe that's why.
Yep. Yeah. Good. I like that. What is one thing that most people assume about you, which is wrong?
I think maybe that I'm very extroverted and I'm definitely not.
Really?
Yeah, I'm definitely more introverted. Yeah.
So how has running changed your life?
Ooh, there's this, I feel like from every aspect. I didn't really expect it to change it as much as it has, especially bringing in the run club, doing all the racing. I just never really expected it. And also friendships that I've made and taking like how everything kind of flows from running into your everyday life as well, like all the tools that you use during running.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, as I've said, that in itself is what flows so nicely into 4TG is that we try and keep girls in sport, not because of the competition itself, but how it overflows into all areas of life, whether it's in work, whether it's in school, whether it's in relationships, just having that confidence to back yourself, to trust your body, to trust your instincts. And I just think it's so valuable. And that's why this conversation today with, run club membership increasing by 59% in 2024, it's obviously massive.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
obviously
didn't know that
a big
number.
need.
Yeah.
And that's a gap that you have filled.
Yes.
So before we talk about you and the Chill Girl Run Club, I want to know a little bit about your origin and what sport was like for you growing up, and if you always were a runner or whether that came to you a little bit later in life?
Yeah, sure. So I was very fortunate to have a lot of sports that I did growing up. So I did basketball, did a bit of competitive swimming. This was in primary school and high school. And any sport that I wanted to try, I was very fortunate that I was allowed to try that. But the thing with it was I had to do the training a few times a week. I had to do the commitment. I had to show up even when I really didn't want to, unless I really wanted to quit, then I was allowed to quit. But yeah, that was a really fortunate experience that I had because I learned that you just have to keep pushing sometimes and you can see yourself getting better by showing up consistently. And then, yeah, I think at the end of high school, I started sort of dabbling in running. We had an 8-kilometer run. I remember it was year 11 or 12. It was so long ago now. But I remember I was like, actually, I'm going to train for this. Like, I actually really like running. And it felt like the hardest thing ever. But I think I came second out of the girls. And I was so proud of myself because I'd seen myself train and actually work for it. So that kind of started my love for running, sort of. And then I was kind of on and off for a few years. Didn't really take it seriously. And then in 2019, I decided that I was going to actually be a consistent runner. Didn't know anything about training, didn't know, we didn't have smartwatches back then and that kind of thing. And I'd just go out a few times a week and actually just run. And it started off 5K was kind of my standard, and then kind of started growing. And every now and then I'd do a long run. Just when I say raw dog it.
Love it.
Just no fueling, nothing, no education on anything. And then 2023 was my first race, and that's when I just fell in love with it and started to learn about training strategies, fueling strategies, and educating myself on runners, throwing out my 3-year-old pair of runners and getting some new ones. So yeah, that was a really exciting year for me.
Yeah. And what do you think changed for you mentally?
I think, as I said before, I'm quite introverted and I can be more on the anxious side. So setting my day up with a run just kind of eases all those feelings and gives me that confidence to start the day. And also just connecting with people. I think mentally it just does a lot for you. It gives you that confidence and helps you put yourself out there more. Also seeing yourself working at something and showing the results, because running is very results based. You can see your pace getting faster, you can see your distance getting longer. It's very numerical in your results. So I feel like it shows that if you work at something consistently, then the results will pay off.
Absolutely. And the good thing about running is that it's so accessible. It's low barrier to entry. It's relatively cheap. You can make it expensive because you can get every pair of the new shoes and new watch, and it's a slippery slope. It gets you. But it is something, as you say, that if you work at, you start seeing the results, you start feeling better, you start seeing, yourself shaving off minutes, and it becomes addictive.
Yes.
And I feel as though it is such a good bridge for getting girls and women back into sport. If they've been out of sport for a while, if they never were good at sport, running is something that everyone can do. And once you start to get those results and you start to feel this community, you get addicted and you want more. And that's when people often then go into triathlons, or they start racing, or they go into sport again. It just gives them that little bit of confidence. And it's such an important bridge that I truly believe that's why run clubs have gone up, because people are really striving for connection in this day and age, especially when everything's online, and to meet up with people and to go out and to feel great when you do it, and then to have a coffee afterwards. It really is the best of both worlds without having to have to sign up to something and commit, and takes that competitive nature out of it a bit.
Yeah, and as to your point as well with connection, it's that deeper connection, what you're saying. Everybody's chronically online. They're looking for something outside of online that is deep. It's not out drinking or, that kind of culture. So yeah, that's what I really love about it as well.
So what made you decide to start your own run club?
Well, so after my first half marathon in 2023, it was in January, I got the bug for it and I decided to enter a marathon. I specifically remember after the first half marathon, I was like, I'm never doing a marathon. And then a day later, I entered one. And then I decided at the time, because I've always really loved social media, being able to express yourself, and it's my creative outlet in a way. And I thought, I'm going to document this and make it real and raw. And I was lucky enough at the time that people hadn't really it hadn't taken off as much as it has now with Run Talk and everything like that. So my follower count was going up quite fast when I started documenting. And yeah, I was on a run one day and I'd seen a lot of run clubs in Melbourne that were female run clubs. And we didn't really have anything like that in Geelong. And I hadn't been to a run club myself because I was quite intimidated. And I thought, what if there was something like that for females in Geelong? It's a slower pace, just like a 30-minute run. It's all female. You rock up, you feel really comfortable. You're there to sort of connect with others and you just have a coffee after. And I remember making a video while I was running and I was like, I'm not posting this. This is so embarrassing. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, if I don't get out of my comfort zone with this, then nothing good's going to happen. Like I'm just going to be in the same position. So I posted it and had a really great reaction, like hundreds of comments. Obviously hundreds of people didn't come to the first one, but yeah, the reaction was just so great that I just did it. I just rocked up with a little sign one day and then it was just on from there.
Yeah. And that's always the most uncomfortable part, isn't it? It's just showing up that first time.
So embarrassing.
It is. But
well, it's not, but I felt
you
embarrassed.
Felt it, but you're constantly thinking about, what people are going to think of you and putting yourself down. But in reality, it's so refreshing to see someone do that and to often feel like, God, she's thinking exactly what I'm thinking, or she's putting herself out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at that stage when you're not a big influencer, it's so much more relatable. People can see themselves in your shoes. And that's the content that they're really after and they're yearning. They don't just want professional athletes out there running because they can't relate to that.
Yeah,
they have jobs, they have kids, they have other hobbies and time commitments. But when you see someone who's just your everyday run-of-the-mill person out there doing some incredible things and they're documenting their life, you're like, God, that's exactly what I needed.
Yeah, and it's achievable for that person, like you're saying. So yeah, I guess they can relate and then they feel like they can kind of go along with your journey as well.
Yeah. So there's obviously a bit of a gap there that you were filling, but what do you think it was about your content specifically that people were responding to and resonated with most?
In terms of my personal or the run club?
The run club.
Yeah, I think, well, there wasn't really anything like it in Geelong. And yeah, I guess it was just the same thing as me. I was a bit uncomfortable to rock up to a normal run club because I felt like, what if they run up on their paces, or like there's a lot of males that go. And I guess it's like just externally you're seeing that. It's obviously not like that when you go, but I think it was just the same feelings as me. You want a safe space you can go. You know that everyone's going to kind of stick together, or there'll be like sort of different pace groups, but you know that someone's going to be in your pace group, or you can walk if you want.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be someone nice there you can talk to. Like I haven't really had anybody mean come. So
you're doing well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah.
What's the application process?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a really safe space for people to come and they can just have a coffee after. And there's been so many friends that have been formed through the group as well. Like I think a lot of people aren't actually initially coming for the running. They're actually coming to make friends.
Yeah.
So that's been a really beautiful thing to see as well.
Yeah. And it's so true because like in this day and age, it's hard to meet new people and make friends, right?
Yeah. Especially in Geelong. Small town.
But even people now are like going to join run clubs to date. Like, they want to get off Tinder and all these apps and they're literally using run clubs to date, which says a lot about where we're at.
Yeah, definitely. It freaks me out.
But your name, the Chill Girl Run Club, like that obviously says a lot. So it's not about, absolutely smashing these paces and doing 1K intervals and things like that. It's more for the everyday person who just wants a slower, chiller run. Is that sort of what the ethos in the name, the brand?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not someone that overthinks things. So I kind of just I guess I sort of thought about doing the run club, did the run club. I didn't really think about the name too much. And I was like, but it's kind of stuck because, chill pace, chill after, I don't know. But I do like the name now, but I kind of abbreviate it to be CGRC, which sounds nice too.
Yeah. And just having that slower pace, like it's obviously more inclusive and again, it's going to target a wider range of people from all walks of life. So what are some of the things you've noticed about the people who have been coming early on when they started to where they are now? Have you noticed any major shifts in them?
Definitely. Actually, I was thinking about this on the drive up. A lot of them kind of go to all different run clubs now. It's like they've ingrained themselves in the running community because they've seen so many positive outcomes from it and built so many friendships. I think the friendships is the huge one that we were just talking about. They've really built these like solid group of friends that have that deeper connection with each other and really support each other. And then I guess a lot of them as well have started entering races or achieved goals that they thought they couldn't achieve before. I've had a lot of people message me saying like I ran my first 10K because I've been coming to the run club a lot. Yeah, I guess just achieving the goals, the community, the friendships, everything.
Yeah, 100%. This episode is brought to you by Urban Smile. And honestly, I love that they're a part of this one because running is building your confidence from the outside. Your smile is the thing that the world sees. Urban Smile makes professional teeth whitening actually accessible. No dentist appointments, no complicated routines, just a brighter smile that makes you feel good. And Urban Smile wants one of our lucky listeners to experience the feeling and the confidence of a white smile. And they are giving away a free in-chair whitening giveaway worth $480. Make sure you're following 4TG's Instagram to keep your eye out for a giveaway post and how to enter. And you've obviously become a bit of a TikTok sensation and on Instagram as well. You're partnering with massive brands, which is absolutely awesome. So what do you think this run club will become, or where do you see it taking even yourself in the future?
Yeah, I haven't really thought too much into it because I really want to keep the DNA of the run club as I started it. So my goal with everything is to give back to the community. So make sure the girls are experiencing new products and just making sure it's not feeling too branded or like I've outsold it kind of.
Yes.
So just keeping that really strong DNA is my main goal.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good way to go about it because sometimes you can grow too big and you do lose that sort of personal feel with brands.
Yeah, it gets very diluted.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a noble intention to have, which is awesome. Now, if we look into more of the behind the scenes for run clubs, and as we mentioned, it's really a big identity piece. It's a confidence piece and it's all about showing up. So running, as we said, it's one of the most accessible entry points back into sport, and research consistently shows that women who exercise in community settings have greater confidence and mental health outcomes than those who exercise alone. So if we're looking at you specifically, was there a point in your life when you started running and you felt that you yourself had changed? And again, not just physically, but mentally as well. Was there a defining moment that you really think?
I think definitely when I started racing, I realized my confidence, or I felt like I could break through barriers more so, because you do need a lot of mental strength to break through that marathon barrier, especially when it gets really tough. So that's really taught me a lot. But I think it's been progressively over the past few years. I feel like I've noticed my mental strength has grown a lot. I put myself out there a lot more. And it's really benefited me in that way. And, you know, when you ask me to come on a podcast, I've never done it before, I'll say yes, because I know that maybe it's something that's out of my comfort zone, but it's going to benefit me and it's going to be good for me. And like, what's the worst that can happen, you know?
Yeah.
Having a conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. And even the people that you meet through Run Club, it's like a great network in and of itself, right? Like you meet people from all walks of life. They do some cool things and you just don't know what doors and opportunities will open up through that.
Yeah, definitely. On that, one of the girls that joined, she was probably one of the first ones to come to Run Club. She actually ended up doing our logo because she's a graphic designer.
Wow.
Just like little stories like that. And then she's done a lot of work for other friends as well now. So yeah, just good having those connections and meeting those people and learning their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think holds most women back at the start from joining a run club or putting themselves out there?
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's like you've never done it before and you don't know, like especially rocking up by yourself. I have a lot of people that message me saying, I want to come, but I'm coming by myself. And I kind of reassure them that everybody's very inclusive at the Run Club. Like everybody will come and have a chat to you if you're by yourself. Like nobody's just standing there by themselves. But yeah, it's really scary going. You think you'll be standing there by yourself or running by yourself, but it's just not the case at our Run Club.
Yeah. So what do you do to ensure that besides the messaging? Do you have a few long-term comers now who will recognize new faces and will go out and make that initial chat, which is always the scariest?
We generally like stand together at the start and have a chat, and that's kind of when it warms up that feeling of you're not going to be standing there by yourself. Warms up the conversation. And then, when we're out running, we kind of try and stick together. There might be a few people that stop and walk and stuff. But generally they get immersed in the group, and I just have confidence that the girls that come are very friendly
Mm.
and they will have a chat to everyone. And I do notice that everybody kind of shifts around and chats to each other, which is really nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what's the course? What's the route? What's the pace? Like, do you have a few different courses that you run, or is it generally the same one?
I generally like to keep things interesting and move around,
Nice.
especially with collaborations. I just think it's like we can try a new cafe or, whether we do a recovery after, we'll just start the run there. Or we're very lucky to live near like Torquay and those beautiful beaches. So I might do a run down there sometimes. But the pace is generally around 7 minutes a kilometre. Try and keep it around that. But then I always welcome people to walk as well, because sometimes you just need to stop and walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in this sort of which we're glorified for this hustle culture and going fast and performance, have you felt any external pressure to make the run club more serious?
I don't think so. No.
Good.
Yeah. I do try and sort of, even when I do collaborations, try and think back to the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a few like sort of runs that I've done and I've kind of replaced the run club with it that weekend, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I've kind of reflected on it and been like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Maybe that felt quite intimidating. Maybe that was a little bit too hard to do. So I always try and think back to, does this align with the DNA of the run club?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going back to that? If it's not, then I'll try not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever find any external pressure from brands that you're working with? Like, do they want to take it in that little bit more of a serious direction, or do they sometimes, I guess, put their own spin on it, which reduces your DNA a little bit, that you've felt that you've had to sort of balance?
They've been pretty good, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah, usually with a collaboration with the Run Club, it would be some sort of them doing a giveaway or product.
Mhm.
But yeah, I haven't really had an experience where they've pressured me. Yeah, which has been nice.
Absolutely. And what sort of brands are you working with at the moment?
For the Run Melbourne,
Yep.
I'm doing that with ASICS.
Awesome.
So they've just sent me a bunch of runners to try out, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just pops up random. That's why I'm kind of thinking, because it's one of those, when you do content creation, it's one of those things where it only happens a few weeks out.
Yes.
So yeah, tomorrow I could wake up and it could be like a different brand deal or something like that. So
yeah. Are you going to go into reviewing runners?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Kind of.
But
what's the favourite at the moment?
Well,
it has to be ASICS, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do love ASICS. The Gel Nimbus, that's nice.
Yeah.
Or my God, there's so many different names now. Mega Blast. That's
Mega
nice.
Blast, yeah.
Super Blast.
Yeah. All the blasts.
Yeah, all the
All
blasts.
the blasts. Good. So tell us more about the life of a content creator. So what were you doing before this became sort of a full-time gig for you? And then what does your day look like now?
Sure. I was working in fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go back to working in fashion.
Yeah.
It was just sort of a hiatus, I would say. But yeah, buying, done trend forecasting, product development, design, done all those things in fashion. So I'll definitely be going back to that. But I guess I do some UGC with content creation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just what you see on my TikTok. So sometimes in the background, kind of working on videos, but yeah, you kind of agree to a deal, film the content, get it approved, and then you post it or send it to them. But generally, like from me posting a video, sometimes it might be like a month or two in the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes that you don't really see. It's kind of like, it might look like I just make a video and post it, but sometimes that's not the case.
Yeah, it's absolutely not, is it? There's
No,
so much
yeah,
work goes
there's
behind
so
the
much
scenes,
work
and
that goes
especially when
behind it.
there's approvals in place, because
Yes.
going, to and from, just even with the smallest edits, it blows it out. It does take months to do something.
Yeah.
So I have a newfound respect for all of this UGC that you think is literally just, shoot and upload. It's definitely not that, is it?
There's a lot more work behind it.
Yeah, yeah. And do you enjoy all this side of things?
Yeah, I really love it. I guess I've just always had a passion for social media, and I love the marketing side of things. I guess it goes hand in hand when I've worked in fashion as well. You always work alongside marketing or trend forecasting, like thinking ahead. And that's what I really love about it. It's a creative outlet. So I'm always trying to think ahead. I'm like, okay, what's next? Or I can see there's a trend bubbling up and kind of catch on to that just in time or ahead of the time.
Yeah.
And then even coming up, like if I'm having a conversation with my friends, I'll be like, actually, that's a really great video idea, because we're having this conversation. We're interested in talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would my followers not be interested in knowing about that as well?
Yeah. And it's a really interesting employment model. And we've spoken about this for athletes or like at that professional semi-elite level where they're balancing basically full-time training, they don't have enough time for traditional full-time roles, or it's hard to juggle all those things on top of studying different things. This is a really interesting way that they can use their own personal brand to actually receive, income or have partnerships and things like that. And, in this day and age where athletes, their most marketable asset is themselves and their personal brand. So it'd be a great way to practice doing that by documenting their own life. And even myself, I've recently stepped out of full-time work and to work full-time on the podcast and to do more coaching with young women. And I've decided that, as uncomfortable as it is, I'm going to document more of my life because we've got this gap, right, where we just see the professional athletes. We don't really see that middle space, especially in that semi-elite level where you are juggling full-time work or study on top of training. You're trying to eat well, you're trying to get 8 hours of sleep and be somewhat social. So it's just a really interesting thing. And I think for the listeners is to have the courage to document your own life, because you might think, oh, like, who am I to document my life? There's nothing interesting about it. But I would argue that I think you have more relevance to more people because there's more people in that, grassroots level to semi-elite than there are in the professional realm. So I think a lot of people can get a lot of value from your day-to-day life.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I think it's just so much more relatable and achievable. When I look at an elite, I'm like, I'm never going to be that. Like, why would I even bother?
Yeah.
So it's just nice watching people that maybe have a little bit faster time than me or something. And I'm like, how do I get there? And it feels really achievable. So yeah, I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah.
I get so excited when people are like going to document their journey. I'm like, yes, do it.
I might be coming to you for a few tips. But yeah, so it's all exciting. And again, like, I just think that the biggest thing, it's imposter syndrome, isn't it? It's like that the first upload and you're so terrified. But
just upload it and throw your phone away.
Absolutely. Just like the win is the action, right? If as soon as you've done that, that is the win. So, yeah. So tell us now, in the next 2 or 3 years, you're obviously doing racing and a few other things. Where do you want to see your racing go? And then let's talk about bigger picture.
Yeah. I must admit, I'm not really someone that sort of like forecasts my future too much. I kind of
so
think
complete
like,
opposite to me.
Yeah.
Here I am speaking in 2 or 3 year plans. I've got it all written out.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that. I kind of like, if I see a great opportunity, I'll take it. And I kind of like, I do have an idea of kind of where I want to go. Like, I'd love to do an overseas race or something along those lines. But I guess I kind of just go with my gut feeling at the time, and then that's kind of when the best opportunities have come for me, and I just like never know where I'm going to end up in a couple of years, which is kind of fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I'd love to do something overseas. My husband and I do want to start a family, so there might be a little gap in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, just not quite sure yet.
Yeah.
I just love to keep ticking away at TikTok and Instagram. Like, I just love it. I'm just actually, sorry, this is me and my brain going in different places. I would like to start a brand, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Fashion related or?
Maybe. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've got a few ideas.
Good.
But yeah. Don't want to.
Yeah. Watch this space.
Yeah. Watch this space.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
And do you think, would you ever take the Chill Girl Run Club? Would it go overseas with you? Maybe a few international events or anything like that out of Geelong?
I would love to. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Make it international.
Thanks for the idea.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'll come run with you overseas somewhere.
Please do.
Yeah. Now, if we talk about girls in sport a little bit more broadly, what do you think more girls need to hear about sport and the benefit it brings?
I think people don't realize how important connection and community is, and all the mental benefits that you get from sport is you're going to carry them over into your everyday life. And you're going to, if you're someone that goes out for a run in the morning, you're setting your day up for the best day possible. You're just going to go in with so much mental strength, so much confidence. You're just going to feel so good about yourself. So yeah, I guess it's that consistency, making sure you're building a community, whether it's through team sport, whether it's through going to run clubs, any way that you can. And yeah, that'll just carry through to the rest of your life, and you'll see a huge improvement if you're looking for that. Yeah.
And I'm sure we've got some girls and women and men listening now who aren't particularly sporty, or they've dropped out of sport. They didn't have a great experience with it. What would you say to those ones who don't identify as being sporty?
got to start somewhere.
Mm.
But it's just the consistency in showing up and remembering it's not just for physical, it is for your mental health as well. And not just mental health, but the mental side of your entire life and how things are going to carry over. It's just not about physical. It's about all the other benefits that you get from it.
So what do you think as a society we can do to keep more girls and women in sport?
I think just keep having female role models in the industries and keep pushing towards that and keep creating those safe spaces for women to show up.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you don't need to be a professional athlete to be a role model. Like
No.
you yourself are a role model and there are so many other women who are role models.
Yeah.
So I think act as a role model and consider yourself a role model and continue providing value and support for the next generation, because ultimately we want to leave this space better than we found it. And I think if we can go in with that attitude and always be thinking, right, how can I make sure that my children and their children are, more respected in the space and can grow up feeling comfortable in sport? That's how we should look at it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So knowing what you know now and what you have experienced, what would you go back and tell 16-year-old Eliza?
Start running earlier.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think and just the consistency piece as well. Like I don't think that really clicked until later on. So yeah, if I knew all the benefits, how consistent you need to be at something and how much you love running, I would tell her that.
Brilliant. It's always the answer. Start something earlier.
Yeah,
Start it yesterday.
yeah.
Otherwise, the best time is today. There's a saying along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, Eliza, thank you for this chat. I mean, I've loved it. And I think the golden nugget, I guess, here is that there is so much more to running or to sport than just the actual action itself, right? It's the connection, it's the community, it's the identity. The hardest thing is showing up for the first time, and it gets easier after that. So show up. If you're listening, just show up, take the plunge.
Just go to Run Club.
Go to Run Club. Go to Chill Girl Run Club if you're in Geelong. Go to other run clubs if you're in Melbourne. But I can guarantee you that there will be a smiling face at the other end of that, of the message, I guess. And you never know where it could take you. I mean, look at yourself. I bet you didn't believe that you'd be here working for awesome brands, and content creating before you took that first run. So
yeah, it's actually crazy.
Yeah. Congratulations on everything you do, and really thank you for being that role model that we're speaking about for young girls to get them back into sport, or for more mature runners out there or women who dropped out of sport because they lost the love of it or they didn't feel that connection piece. Well, Eliza, thank you so much for your time today. And I think the greatest piece from this was that you don't need to be a professional athlete to be involved in sport or to be a runner, and the impact that you can have through creating your own content and documenting that can inspire masses of girls and women. So thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations for everything you've achieved in these past few years. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Thanks so much for having me. This was really fun.
We'll have to do it again, and I look forward to the Chill Girl Run Club getting out of Geelong and becoming international.
Yeah, I'll bring you with me.
Absolutely. And for all the exciting things around the potential brand that you're creating, we'll keep across it. But I just wanted to say that be sure to keep an eye out for the Urban Smile collaboration post that we will be doing, which is a free giveaway of a teeth whitening in seat, which is worth $480. So that is an awesome prize. Thank you very much to Urban Smile for running that one. And be sure to also follow Eliza on socials. Where is the best place to find you?
So my personal is Eliza Boyd. It's on TikTok and Instagram. And then the Run Club is chillgirlrunclub.geelong.
Brilliant. I'll put all those down in the show notes.
You.
And yeah, I look forward to the lucky winner who will have a wider smile to go with that extra confidence from running.
Love it.
Brilliant. All right.
Exciting.
Thank you very much. This was For the Girls. You've been listening to 4TG, where the future of women's sport is being shaped, one story at a time. If today's episode hit home, subscribe, rate 5 stars, and send it to someone who needs that push. Stay in the loop at 4TG_podcast or on 4TG.com. We'll see you next time. Same mission, same movement. This one was For the Girls.